Good morning. I made some changes yesterday and I gotta run out to an appointment right now, but thought I'd come out real quick. Looks like we got breeze today, a little bit cool. I'm guessing it's in the high 50s. As you see, I took down my poor woman's greenhouse yesterday. The tomatoes were getting so big and I didn't need it. I mean, the nights are at the 50s now. I'm good to go for eating the tomatoes. They were getting so big in their little city pickers that I've decided to leave them right there. That's going to be my vegetable garden for now. Let's go around and look at it. Just a quick overview of all my pretties. Oh my gosh, pansies, they're just going and going. The bougainvillea came out and they're already getting affected by wind. This is a wind tunnel through here. I'll show you. Right off that mountain. It's just a wind tunnel on a diagonal. And it gets much worse than this. It just kind of takes my stuff out. Here is the garden. These are my transplants that I bought. Those two are Cherokee purple. This is an indigo ruby red sort of cherry that I'm interested in growing. 2 peppers. My backyard, my back gate, and I don't want anybody looking at me, so I put that up. This is the sun sugar from a cutting I did last year. Overwintered it, and here's a cutting from a Cherokee purple. And I know it's jerry-rigged, but you know what? It's not going anywhere because I clipped it to the thing. I'm gonna train him. To go this way. Yay! Honeysuckle are kind of running rampant here. I usually train them to go back against the lattice, but I pulled the citrus out of the greenhouse before I took the plastic down. They look awful. I don't believe I'll do citrus anymore. It's not the zone anyway. That's north. It's 40 minutes north in Tucson. That's the zone. Look at this gloriousness. This is a tangerine crossvine in full bloom. And it just doesn't bloom throughout the year that much. There might be these sporadic, but so just so you know, it won't do this all year. It keeps its leaves. My intent was to grow it up over the arbor and then grow it. It doesn't cling. It doesn't want to seem to grow to anything. I would have to strap it up. I repotted both of them and just didn't get them strung back up, mostly because I didn't want to do any damage to them. Oh my goodness. I gotta get some water in that, don't I? What happened? Looks like a lot of water came out. I wonder why. Might have been wind. I haven't had that happen, and that thing's been going all winter. This one I didn't get strung back up. Also, it gets more sun than the other. Man, I have got to fix that when I get back. Make myself a note. I don't know how the water flew out. You can see there's water down there. I've got to get going. This is the garden this morning. Most of it's still on irrigation. Some pieces aren't. The middle here. It's pretty and it's cool and there's a cool breeze. This is my work area. I'm not impressed. Oh, our bougainvillea is so pretty. This is still not the zone for them either. They're not really hardy in this zone through the winter. All right, I gotta run. Talking a few. I set up the first one I set up. I hear the water running. That means that one of my irrigations is going. Let's see which one it is. It's flowers. Not this one. There's nothing dripping in there. We'll go find out in a minute. I planted seeds in here. Some took, some didn't. And this is just my peas didn't do well last year, so I guess I didn't get too overly invested in a trellis. But yeah, doing cool. Let's go find out what's watering. There it is, set up automatically. And this is this timer. They're all set differently, and I wasn't able, you don't set with this particular rain drip, you don't set a time like, 10 o'clock. What you do is set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 hours, 24 hours from the time you set it. And that's when it'll go off, and that's how often it will go off. The button on the left, the run time, is the amount of time it will run. So you should set them separately because the water pressure will just drop if you got everything running at once. So it's watering the raised bed here where I'm going to I've planted, I didn't show you, but I planted sunflower seeds in the corner. Just the 6-foot sunflowers. I did 12-foot last year, and they grew all the way up. It was a bit much. It was overwhelming and frightening in the wind. I've planted zinnia seeds and some nasturtiums along the front. So this is all going to be flowers. Let's see how it goes. Looks like I got a little carrot coming up there. I see some volunteer tomatoes, by the way. There's a volunteer tomato, and that is probably a sun sugar. Gosh darn. So right now, actually, I need to be planting my watermelon seeds that I saved from last year and cantaloupe seeds that I saved from last year. And they'll go over the trellis. So I cannot have a volunteer sun sugar tomato there, but I don't have the heart to take it out right now. That's definitely what it's got to be. I don't think this is a weed. I think this is a volunteer something or another. Oh, it looks like a beet. And then I saw a couple other tomatoes. Where? That might be, and that might be. A bunch of volunteers jumped up last year. I'm not really pleased with how dry this area is. I gotta get my line back over. There we go. My clips are out of place, I guess. I need more water on that. I have been manually watering. Oh, I see. If I move that over, then I don't have enough water for the seeds in back, because that's pretty dry back there. I might have to do another line. Not today. Not today. This is an extra line I had, and I'm just gonna run it right in here and get that plant watered. As it gets hotter, I'll run the water longer. There's a tiny daylily. No, I don't know what those are. Maybe something I planted. This is not a weed. I have a feeling this is a zinnia that jumped out. I was depressed about my potatoes. I thought they'd rotted, but they look pretty good to me right now. I am watering them manually though. So I cut off the irrigation, as in I turned off that knob right there. Yeah, I garden and I talk like I think randomly. It's so cute. Fruit trees. I do have fruit on them already. So this is the apricot, and I do have a nectarine. Where did it come from? I saw it. Where did it go? Can't find it now, but it's here. They'll pop out. I ate most of them, pulled them off before they got ripe last year. I really want to do better. There's a big cluster in there of the apricots. Nectarines aren't fruiting just yet, but they will, won't they? I hope so. Like I said, I have one. Oh yeah, there's one. There you go. Boop. Gotta manually water this guy. He's the one I cut off because he needs water, doesn't he? Let's see. Not really. Not really, he doesn't. Although he is pulling away. I'm gonna turn his water back on. He's ready. Just gotta pin down his little arm here. Make sure I get that around him. And then I'm going to turn his valve on so that when this section gets watered, which I don't think has occurred today. You know, I think these things need more dirt. Anyway, who gets some water? Something's snacking on him already, darn it. I do have grasshoppers in the backyard. I'm just waiting to see if these guys are gonna come back. These are bare root hydrangeas. Unhappy bare root hydrangeas. And snacking on the strawberries as they ripen. You know I garden just for me, right? There's like, who am I gonna garden for? Who am I gonna garden for? So I just snack on the fruit as it comes available. I'm not sure these are going to turn into blueberries this year. I hope so. I sure hope so. All right, run inside and start a video to you all. All my bulbs have done their thing. I have no plans and no real vision about what I'm going to do next with these containers. I've never grown bulbs in containers, so I don't want them to rot by planting something else on top and having to water it. Are these not precious? These are what, Marguerite Daisy? They came back from last year. So sweet. They were in a container, a mixed container, and I separated them.